1, 2, 3. Do you hear me? Cool. I'm glad to hear, and I'm glad to see all of you here because it is always a good feeling for me when I see so many people that are interested in information security. That's very good. So we have a brief topic today. It is not hardcore topic. It is more practical topic. I want to tell you how your applications, how your websites can be hacked someday. And to make it more practical, I'll give you some tips of how can you avoid it. So who am I? I used to be an editor-in-chief of Hacker Magazine. It is a magazine about information security for a lot of time. Right now, I'm the product director in Wallarm company. We use machine learning, statistics, and a lot of mathematics to mitigate attacks for our customers. So, in fact, we mitigate thousands and thousands of attacks that come to our customers' web applications every day. There are lots of them, so it is very interesting. The first question to you is, how many of you run a website? So. Yeah, half of you. It's very cool. So, and the next question, how many of you think about possible hacking? So, how many of you? Oh, good to see. Good to see. But not all, almost of you, but not all. And this is a thing that we need to tune. Information security is not the priority, unfortunately, for many customers. We see this in that companies and in that companies. We come to there and say, "Hey guys, you need information security," but no one answers, yes, we need information security. We need to start to do it right now. So what they say, we have no budgets right now. Information security doesn't generate revenue, so revenue doesn't depend on information security, so we're not the target for hackers. We've never been hacked. So some of them say stupid things like, no problem, we have antivirus or firewall. So this is not very good. Before this talk, I came to our consulting team and asked them how many time does it take to find critical vulnerabilities to exploit applications of our customers. And they say that there were cases when it took only 2 minutes to find vulnerabilities that can be exploited by hackers to gain access to your database, to your servers, and so on. And usually it takes not more than 28 hours to find such vulnerabilities. It's very pity. So the question is, do really bad guys need to be a real guru of security to hack your applications? And the answer is not. In fact, not. Hacking is not rocket science, and I want to give you some examples of very stupid mistakes. You don't need to implement that. Try to avoid this. How some rather good resources, some rather good sites were hacked. For example, the first example, this is the first anti-pattern, is about media resource about banking industry. So it is not very big, but it is not small. So it has revenue over $10 million annually. And what you see here, there is not protected gitignore file in their folder of their website. I'm not sure that all of you developers, I guess most of you know, but this file is well known for any developer. This file states what files we don't need to include in our code repository. And it is an often mistake when this file is open to everyone, because anyone can type in the browser, their website name .gitignore and to get it. And on this particular website, there was among the files, there was a file that is marked here with red, which is called MySQL debug SQL. And it is a complete backup of the whole database of the website. So in a matter of 2 minutes, everyone can download the information about all the users over the website. Huge mistake. The second anti-pattern is about the information that is public available all over the internet. So come home and try to find information about your website, and you'll be surprised how many of things you can find. For example, we had some case with one of our customers. It is an online shoe store with a great revenue annually, and because of the mistake of one of their developers who used to have a similar password all over the website, all the source codes of this project could be easily leaked. And more funny is, the funny situation here that this password was stated in the public repository of this person on the GitHub. So anyone can come to the GitHub, find his repositories, find their password, decode it because there is a hash function there, and to use it to enter his GitHub account to download all the source codes of this project. And when you have a source code, it is very easy to find vulnerabilities there because you have all the complete source codes. You can use different vulnerability scanner to find different flaws and to exploit it further. The next anti-pattern is about insurance company, international insurance company. They have a wonderful web application, and it is secure enough. But when we saw their mobile application, we were very surprised because there were a built-in database, SQLite database with passwords, including password of administrator that were just, we call it hard-coded in the application. So anyone who knows what is the compiler can just take this binary, recompile it, and get the password of administrator, then valid password of administrator. So 10 minutes of work, and you gain access to the database. It is not very good. There are a lot of myths about information security, and I want to give some review of them. For example, one of the most popular, we are not interested in the hackers. Yes, maybe you're not interested in the hackers, but your website is. There are a lot of bots which scan internet, one IP address after another IP address. They just look for the websites with vulnerable engines. For example, how many of you use WordPress? Many of you need to update it every day. You need to check the updates for every day because there are a lot of mistakes there that is used by hackers. There are a lot of patches, but no one installed them. So it is an easy target for the hackers. They just scan all the internet, try to find these vulnerable versions of WordPress, exploit them, and then use it, for example, for the DDoS attacks. The second myth is we have never been hacked. It is very funny to hear, but in fact, you can never be sure about that. Many compromised servers, and we see it for many times, stay and work rather good because, before the backdoor finally discovered. And if we speak about enterprise, and this is enterprise section, in the enterprise, the search of these backdoors is not that easy task. The myth number 3, we'll buy a vulnerability scanner and find all the bugs. Yes, you can, but this won't work until you find a really good guys on board that can do it regularly. Because you can find vulnerabilities if you, for one time, for example, to fix them. But the next week you will have a new deployment of code. There will be new vulnerabilities, and you will be again exploited, and again you will be hacked. So it has to be a continuous security process. Fourth myth is about different security solutions. For example, we have a web application firewall, which is an impenetrable shield. In fact, web application firewalls are very difficult to cook because when you install them, you need to care about false positives because the system can make mistake and it can block really good users. So in this case, business guys come to you and say, your web application firewall is an obstacle for us. It blocks real users. So you need to care about it. Myth number 5, we isolate the main application and everything will be okay. This is the answer from a more educated person because they know that hackers will try to find the most easy target inside the infrastructure. If you have a good application, a good website, they won't go straight forward and try to find vulnerabilities there, but they will try to find some test environment or some vulnerable forum or, for example, pet project of one of your developers that is hosted on inside the infrastructure. And this will be the entering point for the hackers. They will use it, and they will expand their attack when they will be inside of the infrastructure. To make this talk more practical, I want to give you some takeaways. And first takeaways, we all are the targets, all of us. And you need to keep in mind it. Hacking, in many cases, is not a rocket science. There are a lot of manuals, there are a lot of tools. Most of them are open source, so anyone can start hacking websites right now. And even without understanding how it works. They just find SQL injection vulnerability in some website, they download the tool to exploit this vulnerability, they push the button, and they get access to your database. It is very bad. There are some short-term spills that can help you. For example, buying a vulnerability scanner, it can help, but it doesn't work in the long scale. But what really matters, and this is the most important, remember it, the information security is all about the process. You need to implement secure lifecycle development practices in your company. You need to order regular penetration tests. You need to use different tools that will help you to monitor your security level, including Wallarm, of course. And finally, to implement this process, you need a dedicated guy or dedicated guys that can help. I don't know, if you speak about a real enterprise, you definitely need to hire a superstar chief information security officer that can handle with this very sophisticated task. If you're a startup, you can find an advisor, or you can find a developer that is very interested in this topic. He can be a man who will influence others, and it is very important. So again, if you don't have a continuous security process, you'll be hacked someday. And this is the thing you need to remember. So thank you. So any questions? Thank you.